Okay, imagine 703,000 people disappear. Now, according to the World Health Organization, an estimated 703,000 people each year take their life around the world. And for every suicide, there are likely 20 other people making a suicide attempt, and many more have serious thoughts of suicide. Now, imagine that you can positively impact those 703,000 people and save each of them. By engaging in broadcast journalism, we can use our voices and power to share God's morals, bring attention to this generation's suffering, and mend society's wounds to help break the cycle of brokenness in our world. The cycle of brokenness starts from a lack of direction, and broadcast journalism can promote God's morals on a national stage, providing people with that direction and with that purpose. A sense of direction and purpose, however, begins with knowing the truth, and from there, making educated decisions based on that premise. Now, according to the American press, the purpose of journalism is to provide citizens with the information they need to make the best possible decisions about their lives, their communities, and their governments. This quote explains how broadcast journalism provides its viewers with information and facts that they can then act on and stimulate purpose from. Broadcast journalism upholds God's morals by providing truth. Isaiah 52:7 says, "How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news and who proclaim peace." Furthermore, broadcast journalism provides positivity to its audience. Now, according to the Washington Post, in an experiment, participants were shown a series of positive and neutral videos. Now, for the positive videos, the average viewer expressed happiness throughout 39% of the video, nearly 4 times more than neutral videos. And in one video of a camera-ready dog, participants smiled throughout 80% of the video. This shows how much of an impact broadcast journalism can make on its audience. Continuing on, the Washington Post writes, "Constructive journalism serves as an antidote to the negative news cycle by empowering readers to take on the problems the world faces. It makes us feel more empowered because it gives us optimism, hope, and self-advocacy." Clearly, constructive journalism empowers its audience by providing hope, positivity. Escalades 3:12 writes, "I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live." And on top of that, broadcast journalism connects its audience members. Pew Research writes, "The top 20 NPR-affiliated public radio stations by listenership had on average a total weekly listenership of about, get this, 9 million in 2020. That's insane. And so holding that thought, Romans 1:12 says that I may be encouraged to gather with you while among you, each of us by the other's faith, both yours and mine. Now, bridging those two quotes, we see that God encourages human connection. And that connection is a crucial pillar of broadcast journalism. However, in a generation that is more connected than ever, we have never been so lost. This generation is suffering from a multitude of mental health issues. The American Psychological Association writes, "Feelings of persistent sadness and hopelessness, as well as suicidal thoughts and behaviors, increased by about 40% among young people." Erica Edwards, a journalist at NBC News, says nearly 3 in 5 girls, 57%, said they felt persistently sad or hopeless. And that's the highest rate in a decade. Let that settle. People need happiness in this world. Change. Continuing the NBC News quote, it says that 30% of those teen girls said that they have seriously considered dying by suicide, a percentage that's risen by nearly 60% over the past 10 years. The article continues and says that the CDC survey found that more than 1 in 5 such youth, 22%, had attempted suicide within the past year. Now let that settle. People need purpose in this world. Change. Darius Warren, a journalist at Office Practium, writes, "One study found a 27% increase in anxiety and a 24% increase in depression between 2016 and 2019. The Zebra says that there are 4.5 million children in the United States diagnosed and living with anxiety. Let that settle. We need truth to feel secure in our futures. Change. Broadcast journalism is actively bettering this generation. According to the happiness website, the mechanism of feel-good news helps us feel happier. It also helps limit anxiety, allowing us to feel more connected and content and able to cope when resolved with problems. And that shows that broadcast journalism provides happiness and aids in combating depression. Broadcast journalism is that change. According to the Ethical Journalism Network, responsible reporting about mental health and suicide can help prevent suicide. And this means that broadcast journalism can save lives. Broadcast journalism is that change. According to the UNICEF website, coronavirus has affected especially the most vulnerable neighborhoods, where many people must live in small houses and lack access to many essential services. Therefore, the audience of Vocal Ribe, a radio station, is essential to stop spreading the coronavirus. Broadcast journalism helps keep the population connected during COVID-19, giving people facts and knowledge to help them feel secure and not anxious. Broadcast journalism is that change. And to conclude, by engaging in broadcast journalism, we can use our voices and power to share God's morals, bringing attention to this generation's suffering and mend society's wounds to help break the cycle of broadcastness and brokenness in our world. Revisiting the 703,000 people I mentioned at the start, ask again, would you take the opportunity to save each of those lives? I'll see you in the newsroom.